somebody is out on the side of the zone and also pressuring towards him. You can hear all the crash pads being burned. It's a far rotation for a lot of players in the lobby. We just hit inside top 30, so placement point going over, Storm Surge turning off. Zexo also going to go down just inside the top 30. Scrubs picks up a huge elimination with just 9 HP left, able to pick that one up, turns it over. Well done from him there. As you continue seeing, as we move over the river, everyone burning that utility, using the crash pads, trying to find a layer, trying to get away from everyone else. Booga's going to pick up Simple, was able to run down from the top high ground last game. Scrubs not going to opt to take that shot there as he just continues rotating around the side, looking for top 20 for the next placement point. Then it's top 15 after that. We'll have it there, and Scrubs will also contribute another elim of his own. That's 5, but only 4 builds left, Ozzy.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Scrubs here. He's making the same game plan. Rotate front side, hold someone backside. Go back to front side, and there you go. Now he's back on backside, though. Needs to make his way back through. And look, back on front side. He's got such a clinical game plan here, and it's playing out so well. 6 eliminations, only 9 builds, though, so needs to use everything he can here. But this zone is now pulled back through the old builds. What that means is a lot of these players can now go back through these builds. They can kind of break their way through, hide in them. They don't have to have as many materials to build their own tarps, but that's exactly what Scrubs is doing, and he's burning through them quickly. Identifies he has 0 builds now, going back into the 1x1 he has, and this is the most exciting part of the game. This is the make or break, and that is it there. No builds. You need to capitalize. Can you find your elimination? Can you keep going forward? And that's exactly what Scrubs does. And now he's got 3 more builds to keep going forward. And again, back in the same spot. No builds now, Sundown. Can he do it again and again?
Yeah, but a little bit of a misplay there, not going out and picking up all of them. He only got 4 of the builds. Now down to just single-digit HP. Can he turn around? Finds one shot. Can he find the follow-up? No, he goes down. Calc in the top right, up on the high ground. Keep an eye on the left-hand side of your screen as well. Just kidding now as we flip on in and zoom on Calc. Has that mythic shockwave launcher coming out of caddy corner. Also has a legendary AR to pair up with it, or epic AR, excuse me. You see Assault, Berserker, Bucky, and Daxter make up the rest of your top 5. Top 3 is the next placement threshold, but it's all about aiming for the victory royale in the eliminations here. Bucky in the box has that epic shotgun, looking to find it. Also has the pepper running as Berserker picks up Daxter. Assault goes down to Calc from shockwaving out in the zone. Bucky finds a 75 tag. Can he convert it into it? Yes, he does, but Calc drops down. VSB takes out VSB, and then at the end, Built by Gamers takes out Built by Gamers. Calc finishing off Bucky, 23 points for him, rockets himself up with a brilliant 19-point performance player off. But we've also seen in NA East, players who aren't going to rock a rocket launcher start dropping their rockets as they're rotating through. So less of them have trickled down kind of in the end game, just a self-limiting factor there. One of the few drawbacks of that shockwave launcher. As you see Daxter utilizing the crash pads, doing his best to find a spot. Also finds back-to-back white tags. He's going to pick up Jaxie there just inside the top 40, so Jaxie will get that pity placement point as it comes through there, but that's going to be the end of his run. Calc still up in the lobby, up on high ground, which to me, not seeing him use the crash pad signals he might have at least some utility there, and as I say that, he comes out and he's going to join the party of everyone just trying to overlap each other. We're going to hop back on board here with Daxter, who's at the front edge of the zone.
Yeah, front edge of the zone looking good. 20 points on the board, so well and truly on pace to qualify here in Game 3 of the last heat of NA East. So this is this player's last chance to qualify. If you're just tuning in, you're looking for players who are trying to get in that top 25. That is going to qualify them for the grand finals, as Daxter putting out a lot of damage, a lot of pressure, but not getting the elimination to show for it. And I haven't seen Coop in this feed, but I definitely saw Calc and Ace at the start of this rotation. So that top 3 is really pushing ahead and cementing themselves as Daxter gets in. The player still inside the cone, unfortunately. First shot doesn't land, but second shot does. But he's now down with, he's got the minis and he doesn't grab the crash pads. I think he tried to grab one, but possibly didn't. He's held outside in Storm now. It's in a rough situation. High ground is now focusing him down, and 28 health left. 18, 8, and he doesn't get the finish. He goes down to Tenzin as we slip into another threshold for placement, the top 25.
Yeah, and going down in 26 is so big there for the E11 player, missing out on a critical point as Katsui picks up Treforest. Tenzin goes down to the zone. We're on board here with Mikey. You can see him trying to make plays, and we've talked about it time and time again. Low ground on the backside of the zone. This is where the plays happen. Who's hanging out and playing floppers, trying to find an advantage? Who can convert as we have our top 20? Mikey right now just hawking and looking for anybody. You can see him controlling the space, and he finds his first one. 51 blue tag, but can't quite necessarily follow up. He's going to get pushed back for a second, trying to find it. He will get the conversion. Can he turn it into 2? not going to find it, as Calc will pick up dubs there instead. And now we have Simple up on the high ground, Clarity on the low ground, Ace, One, Binny, Jelty, and Calc all in the mid ground. Shark hanging out on the side of the zone. Doxy Fishy still up, so a solid top of the leaderboard right here, as we have exactly in your top right and XX Shark in your bottom right hand corner to close out the game.
Yeah, we saw Shark go down in game one, so I'm looking Shark to be the big shark here in this lobby. Maybe try and eat up some of those fishies as well, like Doxy, and try and just close this one out. He needs some big points on the board to start getting on pace. Only 8 points going into game 3 is not where you'd normally see Shark, and he's on the bottom right of your screen, and there it is. That's where I'm used to seeing Shark, taking the elimination on the low ground. 8 players alive now. Calc on the high ground again. We have Exactly and low him, but Exactly still has the Mythic Grappler gun, which losing its effectiveness here in the end game can't move as far forward as Shark, losing no effectiveness, takes down one of the 2 A1 players still in this lobby. Simple falls. I believe we have lost Ace a little bit earlier in here. Shark going back down now. He's on the front side. That Shockwave launcher in the pocket. Let's see if he goes for it. Calc had the power of it last game, but now Calc has to feel the wrath of the Shockwave launcher on high ground. He can't hold it. Sundown talked about it. Most of these players won't try, but Calc actually going to give it a go. Shark only having 5 builds though, so needs to be careful on how he uses this. 2 builds left, 3 rockets left. It's a 1v1v1, and I believe that is Calc that is out in Storm. It is Calc managed to use this gun to win the fight last game, win the game, but now he falls to it in 3rd place as Shark, now trying to have his moment, and there it is. Shark was the big shark, takes down Exactly FN, and picks up the game 3 win after getting 0 points in game 1.
And a great job to execute. We talked about what can happen on the backside of the zone when you're forced to make plays.
Crunchy here now marking where Zone's going. So he's marked the distance there to try to identify which way Zone's going and the elevation, because this zone is now going down the river and then back up the other side. So this is where players who don't have the utility, don't have the mats, who drop down into that river base and are going to struggle. But Crunchy choosing not to go aggressive out of the cone, actually dropping down to get away from this player.
I'm not sure about that. It seems like he wants to prioritize the rotation, which is understandable since you do have to go over the river, through the woods, and then up that hill, not finding Grandma's house, but finding an elimination. There's Crunchy onto Sharky, so immediately getting the rotation off, and he's going to get some much needed upgrades, because he was rocking just the common tack and the uncommon AR, but going to pick that up. Plenty of crash pads there, as we see the rest of the lobby now taking to the sky. We will have our placement point tick over there as 39 players left. We hop on board here with Liquid Gabe, 24 points. Again, the qualification line 31, so pay attention to the players who are able to push themselves over that and guarantee them a spot in the grand finals.
And if you're just tuning in, this is game 4 of the last NA East heat. This is the last chance for these players to qualify. The top 25 from today will go through the grand final, and that will make up our whole 100-player roster to close out this solo FNCS. As Gabe trying to cement himself in that position, sitting back here in Storm to use these floppers. He has 3 of them. They heal up 50 health in a 1 second, so you can take up to 5 ticks of Storm and then pop that flopper and keep moving. And now he's on backside using, because he had little material, incredibly well played. He didn't have the material to make this rotate, and like I touched on earlier, this is going up the hill, but he might kind of find this little breathing room around the side where he doesn't have to go all the way up. But no, he's going to try and go up and getting shot from behind. He still has 1 flopper left to try and play that in Storm. Gabe need to make something big, and big he does. Gets another elimination onto Han, and now he's down here on the edge, 27 points. If he can get 3 or 4 more here, break inside that top 15 to top 10, he could almost secure his qualification of this, and 29 points, not a bad game at all.
Yeah, and he snuck into the top 25 there, so got that 1 extra point. What he was trying to do was wait for other people to build up, but you saw 3 or 4 people all ran out of builds at once, so what did they do? Slid down Old Man Mountain. They said, let's have a go of it. Who gets the siphons? And right now the answer is Crunchy, cleaning up, and this is what happens when you get one of those floor edits that has an angle on the backside of the zone. Yes, people can make plays down there, but if somebody in the zone has control and can punish you, they can convert it very easily. You see Crunchy getting 1. Why not making a double there? You can see Avery and Stretch going down Stretch just outside of the top 15, not Liquid Stretch. The other one, as Smacked, also gets Panda. Crunchy gets Calc and takes him down. That's 32 points for him. We'll be seeing him on Sunday with a fantastic run here in game number 4. But eyes up top, that's polarized up there, Smacked on the low ground with XX Shark, and the question is, who's going to be able to convert? And right now, it's still all Crunchy.
It's all Crunchy, and Shark having another good game though, so I think he's really cementing himself up there on the leaderboard. We have so many of these players around that top 25 bubble, 7 players remaining. Crunchy has 22 builds, 2 floppers, and 3 minis. He's got a good shot to make of this one because he can hold back a little bit, use those floppers in Storm. He didn't choose to push down. He has the elevation, gets the elimination. Can he take the wall and pressure on the second player? Choosing to push back, has 20 builds left, and he's really going for placements. He did not want to push that fight on the backside or just going forward. Actually, never mind, going forward, taking those builds, getting that control ahead of him to then push back into his Polarized, still on the high ground, having that big game that I said earlier he needed to have with that caddy launcher. And there it is, 27 points on the board. Can he close this out? Can he confirm his placement? This is a player that I'm scared of. If he doesn't confirm it here, he's got 2 games remaining, dropping the most volatile drop on the map. Crunchy on the back foot now, 2 floppers in Storm. It's him and Polarized, 1v1. Can Polarized cement the qualification? Crunchy has already done it, and Crunchy falls. Polarized does just that. He has the big game he needed to. Very reminiscent of Cody yesterday, having that big jump up with that mythic loot, ending on 39 points. A phenomenal performance for him in game.
Is actually drop double-digit eliminations in a game, because whenever I think of his huge pop-off plays, they're always super smart and tactical, and they're in these kind of pairs where it ends up guaranteeing them. You never see these kind of monstrous runs of eliminations from him, which he's not going to need right now. He's necessarily on the pace for just guaranteeing himself if he continues playing for the placement points. Now, we've been saying on pace a lot. What does that mean? It's aiming for that 31-point mark. If you can get that, you'll be in the top 25 statistically. We'll be seeing you play tomorrow for your shot at the $500,000 prize pool there. And Stretch right now is somebody who needs to push that pace a little bit more. He's been trying this game so far with already 3 eliminations and the 2 placement points, pushing him from 15th to 20th, but he needs to do more. And throwing these rifle shots is a great way to start finding 1, 2, 3 tags, but not quite converting it. Can he find another player there? No, but is going to do a good job denying the crash pads and denying other rotations from players.
They were making bold predictions here. They made him in the standings beforehand. We saw him show Clay. I'm making it now. I reckon Stretch with this loadout can make top 5. He's got 3 crash pads, got the launch pad, enough builds to do it. I'd fully expect Stretch to come back here, and there's 1 elimination. There it is, gets it, takes down 80 HD, gets 2 eliminations, I believe, actually on this rotate as well. He gets 2, trying to make me sound good as I make that call. He's got everything he needs now. 3 crash pads. You got even more mats out of that, and the launch pad. Stretch is going to be in the grand finals. I'm putting my mark on it now, but we'll have to see. He needs to have a good performance, but he is so consistent. He is so smart with his rotates as Nutex, someone else who's now on 28. I said it before too, if he can get trying to get that top 25 area, he's going to be looking so good. 29 points on the board. He's still got 55 builds left, has the rockets that we haven't seen put into use too much today, seeing what he can do with it with only 50 shield and 35 health though.
And you can see Bugha picked up an Elim there just inside the top 30 as well, so good swing for him. Nutex, though, making all the plays that need to happen. We've talked about it so many times. The FNCS gives you an opportunity to capitalize, to rise to the occasion and say it might have looked like one small moment, but it turns into so much more as top 25 will push him up to 30 points. Can he secure himself here as Eclipse will pick up ace 1? Bucky still in the feed there, gets exactly, so he's going to push himself closer and closer to that margin. Nutex, though, looking to confirm it, and he will right there. Starving Aiden goes down, top 20 for him. Nutex, we'll see you in the grand finals, and what a run it's been so far this game. Taking down Binny on the edge of the storm. Storm Surge just barely helping him out there, and he's going to close it out. He shuts down Liquid. Stretch as well. Could have effectively just ended his tournament. You have Panda up on the high ground. Bugha challenging towards it as well. Jelty's over there. Buis just behind him. Vix completely uncontested on the low ground, but Buis in the top right. Bucky in your bottom right. Everyone else on the left-hand side of your screen as we close in on our top 10.
Yeah, I tried to put it down. I tried to set this up as Stretch's story, but no, Nutex wants to take it, and I can't be happier for him, though, for proving me wrong. He's doing so well. Buis making his way down from the top, has that shockwave launcher in hand. Is Shiro's prediction going to come out? This is Buis, a player I have not seen so far that much today, who I have not seen with a shockwave launcher, now having it in hand. 27 points on the board. Going to use those crash pads to break up the builds beneath him because he didn't need it himself. He does still have that shockwave in hand. Bucky down on the low ground, 29 points. Bucky coming back with a big game. It's not the 11 elimination win, but he's got 1 on the board. Make it 2, 31 points. I think we'll be seeing Bucky in the grand final too. These players are jumping up now. They're cementing their position. Buis still trying to cement his position on this high ground, trying to make his way from top down. This zone is getting closer and closer to closing out, but it's dropping down all this verticality, this big position, and he has to work from top down with next to no. He's still got 35 builds left, enough to work with, but he's holding his high ground. very, very well in the situation. Bucky on the ultimate low, posed goes down. It's going to start to get a big, very scramble on the low ground. Shots are going to start ringing out very, very soon as Blaze is taking it slow, but Bucky is happy to control as much of this layer as he can, putting out all those cones. 24 builds left on the low ground, toe to toe. Can he close out? He can. He gets that elimination. Gets 2 eliminations, sorry. Back to back. Bucky pushing up here at the very end. Blaze going down from above. You are sandwiched between Blaze and Bucky. 2 people you do not want to have around you, as Bucky has that rocket launcher in hand, trying to maybe break someone out, using it to kind of push someone down. There it is. Pushes him down. Doesn't get the shotgun shot though. Shockwave's raining out. It's Blaze versus Bucky. Bucky back in storm. Blaze toe to toe. Gets the high ground. Bucky with a rocket and the shotgun follow up though. Can he get one more shot? And no. Blaze closes it out from the high ground. But both those players have secured their position in the grand finals, finishing on mid to high 30 points.
What a huge performance right there from Bucky. So close to the end, but not quite able to get it
Ja,
instead.
dan
Luis
weten
was
jullie
the
dit
better
ook.
be
Ik zal
on
het
the
even
day.
op stop zetten. Maar als je 32 punten hebt op het einde, dan zit je door. Dus daarom zeggen ze, als iemand 32 punten heeft, dan zie je in de quarterfinals. Dus dit zijn nog altijd de testen. En dit is de laatste video van die test. En ja, hopelijk zal het dan goed gaan met de rest van de spelers. Ja, kijk maar verder.
But with match 5 number down, we have one
5, giving you the confidence and the comfortability to go into game. He's going to follow these players, none of them dropping any launch pads, so it's going to be a dash for it. It's going to have to be a run, and he falls. That's it. That's the risk you play when you wait for someone else to use something. He had 4 crash pads, didn't rely on his, and it goes down to a player on 8 points. But unfortunately, that is just how sometimes it goes in solos, as Big Head picks up Doxy Fishy in the feed. And I'm looking for those players like Stretch, like Zexo up there, who might not qualify and would be a massive upset to not see in your grand finals tomorrow. Berserk, one of them, 26 points, trying to jump up there. Panda getting an elim in the feed as well.
Berserk picking up Serbs there. Clarity picks up Taki as well. As we continue looking through, you can see Trank up on the high ground. Berserk also bouncing right behind him. You have Viable Amazon right behind him. Jelty also still continuing to rotate through. Suscript up to 20 points. Also has Ocean's Loot, the Mythic Burst, as well as the Chug Jug. Probably won't see a ton of the Chug, but right now, Suscript making a good push for 4 eliminations so far. Keeping himself in contention. Don't forget, top 30 will be that next placement point here. Storm Surge is on. 5 players will be under pressure, but with rotating directly east, slightly uphill, but not too much terrain, we can expect a number of players to go down, mainly from this high ground position. Suscript picking up on there. Jaxi gets short, and we close in on the top 30, and there we have as Luck picks up Dubzon and Trank, goes down to the Storm. Eclipse still up as well.
Yeah, it's just good. This could be that legendary performance. This could be that doubling your points in a single game. If he goes to about 15 points starting this game, up to above around that low 30 point we're looking for, it could be massive. 23 points now. Jelty, Gabe also getting elimination in the feed, trying to make his way forward here just inside top 25, and it's going to start to happen soon. 40 builds, so he has control. He doesn't have to push out onto anything crazy. He can keep playing the game the way he is. Smart, methodical, takes down Stretch, one of those players who needed a big game. I think that will have been enough for him, but we'll have to break it down at the end to see. Slacks on the high ground, and he's making a good push. Eclipse you asked for earlier, Sundown. There he is on front side. Zexro on 28. Zexro needs this. He's going to need about 4 to 5 points to guarantee this. I think it's going to be more around that 32, low 30 mark to get it. Has that grappler, but has no more shields. Has 3 builds. Has next to nothing to work with but his mechanics. This is where Zexo is going to back his aim, and if you're going to bet on anyone's aim here to land, it's going to be Zexo with the movement, but no, he's getting lit up. He's pushed back, and there it is, 57. He fires back heavy like I would have expected, but no, he falls. 29 points. That's not going to be enough, Sundown.
No bandages to pop there, and Zexo can't save himself. The glider gun not proven to be strong enough, but right now, Slacks up on the high ground. 21, 11 players left. We've talked about it. 31, 32 has been the line we're looking for. Eclipse picks up Berserker, who is also very close to that line. Styx gets Jelty, and we have our top 10. Right now, it's Slacks. 22 points. He needs absolutely everything if he's going to push forward and make that mark. The Victory Royale is an extra 3. There's a placement point coming through at 5th and 3rd, and he needs whatever he can get. You can see Eclipse down there on the low ground, also picking up an Elim. He pushes himself up closer and closer as well. I can't tell whether that's a 2-4 or a 3-4 right there, unfortunately.
2-4, I believe, is 24.
Okay, so he's gonna need to push up there, but Slacks in the top right, and Clipsy in the body right. Which one of the Luminosity Gaming players can secure the victory royale and potentially push themselves into the grand finals? This is the final play here, the final top 5, Aussie.
This is it. This is everyone's last chance. We are going to crown our top 100 playing in the grand finals tomorrow after this. Slacks drops down, gets elimination on his way down, has the flopper still, so it's going to be LG versus Eomso. But unfortunately for this player, Slacks still has the builds. He has some beautiful building coming out, 20 materials left, 20 whole builds. Finds his way up, shots down below. Eomso gets dropped on Eclipse. He's pinned between LG and LG. It's Slacks versus Eclipse, 27 points. Slacks needs this win. Even with this win, is it enough? That's 3 points for the victory royale and 1 point for the elimination. Was that enough, or does Slacks just fall short in the final moments? Oh my gosh, same as every other heat, it has come down right to the wire, Sundown.
And the key thing to note there too, right at the end, is